Well, hello, it's me, Sophia Foyer, and this week for Combat Talk, we have UFC 318 predictions. We have UFC at the White House potentially, and we have Bare Knuckle news. So, without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, so we have UFC 318. We have early prelims we're going to start out with. We have Carly Judas versus Nicole Callery at flyweight. Carly is a striker, is also a counter fighter, but uses body kicks, straight hands, and low leg kicks. In ground game, we're not too sure. On the other hand, Nicole is an MMA background, is a counter fighter also, uses knees to the body, head kicks, sacrifice throw, and yeah. I'm like trying to read my handwriting because like I always do my predictions on paper for the people that don't know that. But yeah, I mean, if you really want to know, this is how I do my predictions for you guys. I got the Combat Talk Season 2 binder. So for the people that don't know that are watching the new season, how we do predictions on Combat Talk is I will go over the full fight card for covering for you guys and basically put Carly, like I did for this fight, Carly Judas versus Nicole Callery at flyweight, highlight the weight class in one color, that same color for the first fighter, and then a different color for the second fighter to differentiate so I can tell you guys the differences, basically. But my pick for this is Nicole, because she's well-rounded, she knows how to strike, she knows how to go to the ground. Unlike Carly doesn't really know how to do that. So we're gonna go Nicole. But moving on to the second fight, Bruno Ferreira versus Jackson McVeigh at middleweight. We have Bruno with the grappling background. He's a counter fighter, uses low leg kicks, hooks, and is in an open stance constantly. Can take a lot of damage, but also create a lot of damage, which is good. Then Jackson, on the other hand, is an MMA background, is a counter fighter, feints the jab, has long reach, knees to the body, uses elbows, and has heavy punches. We got grappling versus MMA. Well, when we talk about long reach, what does that mean? Long reach means I have more of a punching range, and I'm able, like if I get caught with a punch and I have long arms, I can like step back and like hit you, but I can take a second to breathe. That's all that means. With that being said, I think Jackson is gonna win this. McVeigh is gonna win this fight. So hopefully he pulls through for this. But Ryan Spann versus Lucas Brzezinski at heavyweight. I hope he said his last name right. Ryan Spann is a jiu-jitsu background and uses straight hands, his slip cross, uppercuts, and looking for the knockout like any heavyweight is. And I'm talking about the next fight. I'm like, why am I looking at that? Lucas is a striker, uses heavy punches, is looking for the TKO basically. Low leg kicks, overhands, uses his single leg takedown. Ryan Spann, what do I have to say about this man? He's had a lot of wins and losses, so it's like this is the turning point for him. This is where, okay, Dana's basically, in my mind, I don't know if this is like true or not, but in my mind, this would be like, okay, you're either going to win this fight and show me that you still want to be in the UFC and be in the top organization for fighting, or you're booted out after this because we can't. There's nothing we can do for you. That's how I see it, but I mean, with that being said, I'm picking Lucas. I think he's a better, well-rounded fighter. I think he has a lot more power than Ryan Spann. And people are like, well, it's heavyweight. How does it differentiate? Well, watch this fight to see how it differentiates. Moving on, we have Jimmy Crute versus Marcin Brachino at light heavyweight. Jimmy Crute is an MMA background, has heavy ground and pound, uses head kicks, knees to the body, fast submissions, creates more damage with his straight hands. Marcin, on the other hand, is a karate/striker. Uses head kicks, hooks, knees to the head, good pressure passing, heavy control. Pressure passing is very, very key on the ground. You do not want to be stuck. It's never a position you want to be stuck. You never want to be stuck on the ground because the more blows to the head, the more brain damage and stuff like that. And it's also that when the judges see that you're on the ground just sitting there doing nothing, you're gonna lose that round. So we don't want that. But I'm gonna go Jimmy Crew. I have a good feeling. Hopefully it shows out. Hopefully it shows us a good performance. So we're gonna have to find out this weekend. Find out tomorrow. But Adam Fuji versus Islam Dulatov at welterweight. We have Adam, a freestyle background, uses head kicks. He's very telegraphic with his kicks. Now, when I say telegraphic, I think it's very common sense and easy to say, like, what's telegraphic? If you can see me throwing a kick and you're not fainting, you're not faking it, it's not good. But he uses straight hands, and he doesn't really have much of a ground game. Islam is an MMA background, uses blitz combos, which is basically fast punches, uses uppercuts and hooks, and has tight submissions. Me personally, you guys, I do the predictions for you guys to learn more about these fighters and be more interested in the fight card, but for me, I think Islam, because he's able to move in a different way and able to cut you off and like go for a takedown, or he's just able to stand with you. Where Adam, he's just throwing what he can, essentially, and looking to time everything. So I wouldn't go with that. I would go with Islam. But with that being said, we're gonna move on to the actual prelims. Atiba Gautier versus Robert Valentin for middleweight for the first fight for the prelims. Atiba is an MMA background. He's a counter fighter, uses low leg kicks, rushes for the clinch, creates a lot of damage. Meanwhile, Robert is an MMA background. He's a counter fighter as well, fights for the takedown, has a good sprawl, and has quick takedowns. Okay, we're going Atiba, and it's not because I keep saying the well-rounded fighter. When you do three things in a fight, and it's not even striking, you're just going to the ground straight away, I can't root for you. I just can't. Like, it's, guys, we gotta use our heads. But I think we know who I picked on that one, Atiba. So just come on, man. And watch me be wrong in this prediction and be like, oh my god, Robert just won that fight. And I was wrong. You guys will be the first ones to know. Moving on, we have Francisco Prado versus Nikolay Vertinkov. I didn't say that right. I probably didn't. Welterweight, we have Francisco Prado with a street fighting background. He's spinning elbows, heavy ground and pound. He's a counter fighter and uses the double leg takedown. Then Nikolay is a sambo background, counter fighter, knees to the body, body kicks, good head movement, and is able to find the submission. I'm going Nikolay because I just don't think Francisco can handle his power, and I just don't think he's as good on the ground as Nikolay, and I don't think he's able to handle the clinch as good as Nikolay. I don't think he's going to be able to take the knees to the body. I think he's going to get a TKO, but we will see. So, on to one of my least favorite fighters, but we're going to cover him because it's my job for you guys to do this. So, here we are. We have Marvin Vettori versus Brendan Allen at middleweight. And Marvin is a jiu-jitsu background, uses heavy hands, good guard passing, fast punches and uppercuts. Brendan Allen is also a jiu-jitsu background, if I could talk, and uses heavy hooks, the rear naked choke, liver shots, and footlocks. I'm gonna go... Part of me wants to go with Brendan Allen, but it's like Marvin Vettori also has really good stand-up, even though I don't want to say that because he's an idiot. But as a fighter, like, we gotta talk about the fights. We can't be talking about how these people are outside the cage. So Marvin Vettori is gonna be the one I lock in with. But Kyler Phillips versus Vinicius Oliveira at bantamweight. We have Kyler with the background of Nikadoki. I think it's a striking background. I think you guys can look that up because I don't know. But he's a spinning side kicks, double legs, straight hands, his body kicks, and has heavy punches. Vinicius is an MMA background, uses tight submissions, spinning heel kicks, and his hooks. I'm gonna go Kyler Phillips because it's looking like his striking's a lot better. So, promising that he pulls through for this. So, hoping and praying. But we're gonna move on to the main card. We have Michael Johnson versus Daniel Zellhuber at lightweight. Michael Johnson is a wrestling background. He uses low leg kicks, straight hands, his double leg takedowns, and his hooks. Meanwhile, Daniel is a freestyle fighter, is a counter fighter, uses blitz combos, which is basically like almost like rapid fire punches. Basically, you're trying to end the round, you're trying to make it look to the judges like you won, or get the TKO quick. Also, he uses knees to the body and head, uppercuts, and good takedown defense. Who do I pick? I'm gonna say this. I'm fine with either or. That's a new pick. That's a new decision for this. Either or can win, and I'd be fine with that. Just saying. But Dan Ige versus Patricio Pitbull at featherweight. Will Patricio do it? Will he get back what he didn't get in his UFC debut? Hopefully. We have Dan Ige with a wrestling background. He's a counter fighter, has quick submissions, fast and heavy punches, and overhands he uses a lot in his fights. And Patricio has a jiu-jitsu background, uses straight and fast hands, fast submissions, and his overhands. I honestly want to go with Patricio, but I'm gonna go with Dan Ige instead. I just think he's way faster than Patricio. Do I think Patricio is still good? Yes. But compared to Bellator him to UFC Patricio, it's a whole different ballgame. Like, it's a completely different person. Not saying Patricio's a bad fighter, it's just he can't keep up. And I think watching him fight his first fight in the UFC, it's like you kind of expect more because it's Patricio Pitbull. You hear his name, and like for a lot of people that know who he is, he's a powerhouse of a fighter, and especially him and his brother. But can he pull through? Can he get the dub? We'll have to see. But I'm gonna go with Dan Ige because I think Dan Ige has a lot more power and a lot more strength over Patricio, and I just think he's gonna be able to cut him off at any point. So we'll have to see. But we're gonna move on to our next fight. We have Kevin Holland versus Daniel Rodriguez at welterweight. Kevin Holland is a kung fu background, uses push kicks, elbows, has a good sprawl, uses his straight hands, head kicks, heavy punch exchanges, I should say. What is heavy punch exchanges? What that means is, for example, our main event, Max Holloway, right? Max Holloway, everybody knows when he points to the ground, he knows he wants to go back and forth with the other person. That's basically what Kevin Holland has done for a lot of his fights, is like not even pointing to the ground, but getting into those exchanges with these guys and basically saying like, I'm tougher, I have heavier hands, and I can knock you out. That's all that is. But Daniel Rodriguez is a freestyle fighter. He's a counter fighter. He uses head kicks, low leg kicks, uses a straight hand, hooks, and tight submissions. I'm going to go I think I'm going to go Kevin Holland. Yeah, I think a lot of people are going to go Kevin Holland because compared to 2020 to 2025, Kevin Holland is a completely different person. He's also evolved a lot better, and evolved a lot more in jiu-jitsu, and he's learned more of a ground game compared to who he was in 2020. So if Daniel Rodriguez can catch him, that's probably the only way he's going to win this fight, is catch him by making an opening. But I think Kevin Holland's pretty much got it in the bag. But the co-main event, Paulo Costa, Paulo Costa is fighting Roman Kopylov and at middleweight. I know you're like, why are you making that face? Why are you saying that about Paulo Costa? This man is a steroid junkie. I'm sorry, but he is. You can't tell me when you look at him that he's clean. Like, I get it. He might be getting tested all the time and might look different, but there's something about it where it doesn't just seem right to me. But I'm still going to cover him. I'm still going to give you a prediction. So here it is. We have Paulo Costa. He's a striker. Uses uppercuts and hooks. Uses his straight hands, body shots, head kicks, and ground game. We do not know much about for Paulo Costa. Roman Kopylov is a striker also. Uses his straight hands, head kicks, body shots, and poor takedown defense. I don't want to say it. I think you guys can go with who I'm thinking. Paulo Costa. Okay, anyways, we're gonna go to the next fight and act like I didn't say that. On to everybody's favorite fight, the main event, of course. Max Holloway versus Dustin Poirier at lightweight. Now, this is Dustin Poirier's last ever fight, and it's very sad to see, but low-key, real quick, Dustin Poirier, thank you for what you've done for the sport, and thank you for showing entertaining fights and giving more and more entertainment to the lightweight division and showing that lightweights can handle themselves. So we have to thank him for that. But anyways, Max Holloway is a striker, has fast hands, blitz combos, tight submissions, good sprawls, heavy control on the ground. Dustin Poirier is a jiu-jitsu background and uses blitz combos, body shots, heavy straight hands, and the guillotine choke, obviously, from Khabib. He is famous for his jiu-jitsu, but I don't know if I can pick. I can't believe I'm gonna pick. It's gonna have to be Max Holloway. Yeah, it's very sad. But, ladies and gentlemen, that was Combat Talks UFC 318 predictions. But real quick, we're gonna... Okay, let me look at my rundown, because I have my rundown right in front of me. UFC at the White House. What do I think of this? I've been asked by a couple people, like, what do I think about it? What do I think about it? Like, do you think it could happen? Okay, let me say this. When we look at MMA compared to today, to like the 90s, it's completely different. And when it was in Pride, and then WBC happened, and Strike Force, and stuff like that, it wasn't always regulated. So, like, to be in a time now where it's regulated is very, very, like, a proud moment for a lot of fighters. So part of me would love to see it happen, but logically, let's talk about it. Logically, it will never happen because there's no way. Where do you put an MMA cage at the White House? Where are the fighters going to change? Can you have fans? Can you have people there watching the fights and not have something happen or break out? That's the real question. But moving on, we have Bare Knuckle news. I know. Why am I talking about Bare Knuckle? Why am I talking about Bare Knuckle? Well, this is why. So, Yoel Romero, Diego Santos, Derek Brunson, Aspen Ladd from PFL have all just signed with Bare Knuckle. Fun for them. And then there will be a 32 fighter tournament in March next year, ranging from 185 pounds to 225 or 205. I think it's 225. But the winner will win $25 million, and the runner-up will win 1 million. And then we also find out this is like the statement that I'm reading from the website. The fighter equity program for champions are long tenured BKFC fighters to become part owners of the company. So what that means is, like, if you're a champion or if you've been with the company long enough, you can say, hey, I want to be a part owner, and you get to make more money. What do I think? I'm not a big bare knuckle person because I don't think it's really that safe, and I don't really think it's that smart to do. I mean, if you really watch it, the hand wraps are not even hand wraps, they're for your wrist. That's literally it. But I mean, people watch it and they make millions of dollars, so good for them. But I don't know, I think with the equity program, it makes me happy to see that these guys are getting paid and they can actually live off of this money and not have a secondary job. So we will have to see about this tournament, but I don't know. What I ask you guys is, before I go, UFC at the White House, Conor McGregor versus Michael Chandler, will it happen? I don't know. But you guys better tune in next week, because we will be covering the Abu Dhabi card with Robert Whittaker and Rainer D. Ritter. And you guys better enjoy it. You guys better like and subscribe. I don't know what you're doing. Come on. We're not staying in the loop here at Combat Talk. What are we doing? Just sitting here bored? No. We can't be doing that. But as always, I am your favorite host, Sophia. So, thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe. Stay tuned in for another fight prediction and maybe for an interview sometime soon. We got some stuff in the works right now, but I can't spill. Cannot spill. But I will see you guys next week. So, bye guys.